Hey everyone, so it's me, Priscilla, and I know I don't record too much or upload too much, but today I definitely wanted to do that. Oh my gosh, I'm like laying down. And yeah, so right now I'm actually using something pretty cheap. I don't mean cheap in quality, but cheap. I just flashed it right there. It's the Watercolor Confections. I don't know if they even go by that name anymore, but that's what I call them. They're by Art Philosophy. It's like an awesome, cool little watercolor palette. It's not like Winsor and Newton, or I think it's called Danielle Smith, but they're pretty decent. I love them. And I'm just someone that loves to, I love to paint. So I'm gonna name the colors that are actually in this palette, and it's 133 Seaside, 134 Blue Whale. I really like that color, but it's kind of like a neutral color. Not neutral like as in the browns, but it's not like as vivid and bright. And I don't even really like saying vivid either because it does have a lot of color in it. So 135 is Ocean, 136 is Turkish Sea, 137 is Jellyfish. I really like that name, and it's probably the most bright blue, really close to like an ultramarine. 138 is Caribbean Sea. Then there's 139, which is Kelp, 140 Seagrass, 141 Sea Green, 142 Algae, 143 Deep Sea, and 144 Bluefin. So I know if people look at my old video, I did another drawing with Copic markers. It was a set, I think it's like a basic 3-color set, and it's a blue tone picture, and I don't know why, I just really like blue tones. That was a character named Bernard. This is another character, but I'm saving her for later. There's a reason why I'm drawing her in blue. And yeah, it's just, I love drawing the characters that I hope eventually I'll bring to life through literature, and if not, at least through drawings. And if you can't tell, I did my nails recently also. So obviously it's the lockdown right now. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the country. I don't know how it is too much in other countries actually. Every time, well, I live in California if you guys don't know. So I actually have to wear a mask every time I go into a store like CVS or Walgreens or what do you say? Basically every store. Other than that, everything's kind of closed down. Like school's closed down. It's kind of annoying. I was like kind of happy that school was closed down, but oddly it's like one of those weird things where it's like I really love being at home, but then I kind of miss going to school. I like really liked going to my campus and walking around and talking to everyone, so it kind of sucks. But yeah. The brushes I'm using right now is just one brush, but it came in a set that I got from Amazon. It's those Pentel water brush pens, and they're honestly with a coupon at Michael's or coupon in Hobby Lobby or coupon in Joann's. You could get the set for probably $8. It's not that expensive. Are the brushes like the most amazing thing? I actually really like them. I think they're actually very nice brushes. I don't know how people on Instagram keep them super, super, super clean all the time. I noticed that the first time I ever used any type of paint with these, they just stained, and I tried to wash them and wash them and wash them, and it just like never ever got back to normal. So I kind of just was like, fuck it, who cares? And I just keep painting, and it's not like if I wipe my brush as clean as I can, it will still have a blue stain on it. And if I start using colors like red or yellow, the color won't go on, won't smear and mix into the yellow. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, right here I'm just like doing little details on her face. I really like her lips. Like I always kind of mess up, I feel like, around mouths for some reason. I feel like I kind of do too much, or I won't do too much at all. But I like these kind of like strokes that it's just like some of these blues are just so vivid and so bold. I love it. Just doing more detail on her face right now. It's the eyes. And again, if it's one thing that I learned through watercolor, it's definitely layers. And I actually learned that through Photoshop. I think one of my first college courses in art were always Photoshop. And I remember that teacher was so strict, and he was actually kind of mean. He was an old guy that was like really proud of his hybrid. And he just like always emphasized like use layers, like utilize your layers. And it's crazy because that was like back in like CS4, CS3 days maybe, like Photoshop CS4. And it was like where you could buy a student discounted serial number or whatever for only like maybe $100, which is really cool. And I actually still have that license for it. But now I kind of, with stuff like I think a Studio Clip Pro, and then one that I actually had an old classmate convince me to get, which is Procreate. And you kind of don't even really need Photoshop anymore if you're just going to be painting, because those programs really just like let you do that. There's a program that I want to try out one day, and it's basically watercolor. It's like photoshopping, but just watercolor. And geez, I forgot the guy who did it, but I always wanted to try that program because I thought that would be really cool. So it's one thing I always notice with my drawings is that I focus a lot on the hair, and I don't know why, but I think it's because of like my own vanity. I really like hair for some reason. My hair is super long. I want it longer, like down to my knees. It's only like past my butt, barely, but geez, I don't know. It's just hair is just pure vanity, and I can't help it. I just absolutely adore it. So back to the whole coronavirus thing. I know a lot of people don't like saying coronavirus because they go, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get like demonetized, and it's like I'm not even monetized, so I don't even care. But yeah, for me, I'm still kind of getting used to it. I feel like there's people that are just starting to get used to wearing masks, but I also notice people not giving a shit and following the rules at all. I would say a majority of people I know are not following the rules, the quote-unquote rules of not seeing each other, and And I always think, like, what would I be doing if I was 13 years old during this pandemic? And back in the day when I was 13 years old, my parents both worked. So if I would be having a ball if my parents, if I was 13 years old during the coronavirus, because I know like all my friends would have parents also that would be like, you know, working, doing their essential jobs, and we would be out doing whatever we wanted. And that's just like a dream, man, to do that, 13 and 14. But in the end, I kind of ended up doing a lot on my own when I was that age anyways. Oh, and just to like, if anyone goes this far, I'm actually doing all this on my iPad right now, which is pretty cool because I will admit that I talked a lot of shit about Apple, but I have to say the iPad's absolutely amazing. So I think during this time I was actually looking for a pen, and that's a Sakura gel pen that's the white ink, and I have to say this is probably the best one that I've ever used. Even the Copic marker ink, it's kind of annoying to use sometimes. And then I have pencil, it's not the greatest, but Sakura, man, that one just kind of never fails. All the gel pens are really good. Right here I'm actually using a Tombow water-based pen just to darken things up. I just did it just because, like, why not? But then I ended up getting a Micron pen, and this one is, I think this one's a Staedtler brand. Staedtler, I don't really know how to pronounce it correctly. But yeah, I'm doing my kind of like janky eyelashes, and I give her some eyeliner. I kind of just like doing finishing touches with the pen. I kind of feel like it makes things stand out. It's kind of like when I do my eyeshadow and then I add eyeliner. It's like, I know there's a lot of people, most people I know, who don't put eyeliner on, but it's like I don't see an eye look without eyeliner, just like I don't see a drawing I do without some kind of finishing touch at the end. And I'm outlining her face right here. So here I'm putting a little bit of sparkle in her eye because I love doing that too. I just like adding it. It kind of looks like, you know, almost like magical. It's like putting a galaxy in someone's eyes or like some solar system, and it just makes things way more pretty. And I did the same with her mouth. I kind of would have gone back and not done that, but can't go back now. But yeah, I think this is pretty much the end. I'm signing it with my name, Priscilla. And that's me, and I called this the, I guess I'll wait till 2, but it's called the Lockdown Blues, obviously because I use the color blue and some green. And thanks for watching.